Good evening. I'm Yasir Afsarand. This is DBC News, bringing you the latest updates on the 2024 US presidential election and political developments. Here are the top stories making headlines today. Biden's NATO summit performance. President Joe Biden defended his decision to seek re-election during the recent NATO summit, addressing concerns about his age and cognitive abilities. His firm stance on supporting Ukraine against Russian aggression was a highlight of his address. Tight race between Trump and Biden. Polling data indicates a closely contested race between former President Donald Trump and President Joe Biden. Key battleground states such as Arizona, Georgia, and Pennsylvania are showing narrow margins, with voter turnout expected to be crucial. Kamala Harris's increased campaign efforts. Vice President Kamala Harris is intensifying her campaign activities, focusing on voter outreach and highlighting the administration's achievements. Her efforts aim to strengthen the Democratic ticket and appeal to a diverse electorate. EOP primary battles. Republican candidates, including Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley, are ramping up their campaigns, positioning themselves as alternatives to Trump. Their strategies involve emphasizing political credentials and policy differences. Democratic Party's internal debates. Within the Democratic Party, discussions continue about whether President Biden should remain the nominee. Some members are advocating for alternative candidates, citing concerns about Biden's capacity to lead effectively for another term.
Rise of third-party candidates. Third-party candidates, like Andrew Yang with his Forward Party, are gaining traction by addressing voter dissatisfaction with the traditional two-party system. These candidates are presenting themselves as viable alternatives in a polarized political landscape. Key policy issues, healthcare, immigration, and climate change are dominating the policy discussions. Both parties are outlining their visions, with Democrats focusing on expanded healthcare and environmental initiatives, while Republicans prioritize border security and economic deregulation. Voter suppression and election integrity. Concerns over voter suppression and election integrity are prominent. Both parties are mobilizing legal teams and volunteers to monitor the voting process and ensure a fair election amid fears of disenfranchisement and foreign interference. Impact of Supreme Court decisions. Recent Supreme Court rulings on issues like abortion and affirmative action are significantly influencing voter sentiment. These decisions are mobilizing both conservative and liberal bases, making the judiciary a pivotal topic in campaign discussions. Social media's influence. Social media continues to shape the election narrative, with campaigns leveraging these platforms for voter engagement, fundraising, and countering misinformation. However, concerns about the spread of fake news remain significant. Economic outlook. The state of the economy is a major concern for voters. Both parties are crafting their economic messages to appeal to voters concerned about inflation, job growth, and financial stability. Youth voter mobilization. Youth voter mobilization is a key focus for both parties, with digital campaigns and issue-oriented outreach being intensified. The youth vote is seen as potentially decisive in the election outcome. Climate change policies. Climate change policies are under scrutiny as voters demand more robust action. Democrats are advocating for significant environmental reforms, while Republicans emphasize energy independence and economic impacts of regulations. Immigration policy debates. Immigration remains a contentious issue, with Republicans pushing for stricter border controls and Democrats calling for comprehensive reform. Recent surges in border crossings and asylum requests have intensified the debate. Foreign policy stances. Foreign policy stances are being closely watched, especially regarding relations with China, Russia, and NATO allies. Biden's handling of the Ukraine crisis and Trump's past dealings with authoritarian regimes are major talking points. Stay tuned to DBC News for continuous updates and in-depth analysis on these and other developing stories in the run-up to the 2024 presidential election. I'm Anchor Name. Thank you for watching.